think today's college student is so lucky because there are so many alternatives for them. There are many different majors, there's many different course offerings, there's different teaching methodologies. So students can actually almost carve out their own pathway that is very suited to them in terms of their strengths and their ambitions and goals.
PSU Lehigh Valley, with its small class sizes, enables students to explore their areas of interest and their passions.
As a teacher, I'm much more interested in how students absorb knowledge and what they do with that knowledge, how they process that knowledge, rather than simply imparting knowledge to them.
In today's college environment, instructors are doing more to apply the theories with students so that they're getting a more practical understanding of it and they can make use of it.
The importance of factual knowledge has been diminished.
Because the traditional model used to be that, okay, you went to school, you heard a teacher lecture, you went home and did homework, then you came back to school and started that cycle again. And now it's more about, for faculty, the flipped classroom, with the expectation that students are learning the lecture type material on their own and then coming to class, and faculty are involving them in different collaborative activities or field experiences that reinforce the content but also expand on it so that students are critically thinking about this material.
It allows the student and the teacher to interact in a way around knowledge generation, around knowledge discovery in ways that are so much more advanced than when I was a student. And that's really exciting.
In my opinion, the expectation of students today is considerably higher than it was when I was in school. And the reason for that is simple. Computer hardware and software systems allow students to be engaged with their faculty members on virtually a 24-hour basis through email, through text messaging.
Students now must take charge of their own education. They're responsible for their own education.
When you get that student that is passionate and totally engaged in their academic and their creative pursuits, you're going to get a faculty that's even more engaged.
We have here at Penn State Lehigh Valley an international orientation.
Faculty put the emphasis on imagination, innovation, ideation, globalization, technology, building partnerships and collaborations.
In my own classrooms, that means drawing on international examples.
Getting them out into the field and seeing the kinds of problems that people around the world face and how they, as members of a global community, can contribute to making changes.
Penn State Lehigh Valley recognizes that these global phenomena have replaced the 3 R's of education with a new mantra, that of rigor, relevance, and relationships.
I think we need to expect dedication, hard work, perseverance, and total engagement from a student in order to help them grow and develop and become a lifelong learner.
I think students are expected to do more because they can. But that's in their best interest because it challenges them and it just really empowers them in their lives.
Research and scholarship is at the heart of what faculty do. When faculty can bring what they're researching into the classroom, then students are not only exposed to cutting edge thinking about what's going on in the field, but they're also encouraged and supported to do their own kinds of scholarship that will deepen their knowledge about whatever concepts we're covering.
We still have the basic academic standards, which are high, but we now expect our students to go beyond just sitting passively in a classroom and to become much more actively engaged in their own learning.
The difference here is that we have a small campus that you can actively engage with the faculty and be involved in research.
I love to involve students in research. Research is knowledge generation. It's new knowledge being created.
I encourage students to do their own real-world research.
Faculty here take the role of encouraging student scholarship very seriously because we know from the research that students who are engaged in their learning at a much deeper level are the ones that stay in school and finish their degree programs.
But as a researching faculty member myself, I have over the years often included students in my own projects. And in fact, I've co-authored papers that have been published in professional journals with students. We have created poster projects which have been accepted at professional conferences. And
in fact, recently, several of our undergraduate students entered regional competition on their research projects and won. One of the students was a freshman and that speaks very, very highly of the quality of research done here.
Experiential learning opportunities are really paramount in giving students a competitive edge, especially when they bridge traditional educational silos and work in real-world collaborative environments with individuals of diverse backgrounds and cultures.
Working in teams is one of the key attributes employers are looking for in the 21st century, and not only working in teams, but working with people who are very different. Here at Penn State Lehigh Valley, students may work with someone from Syria, someone from Korea, people who come from a different country, who speak a different language, who come from a different culture, who may be from a different faith, who may have physical challenges to their mobility. They learn to work in a context of diversity.
At Penn State Lehigh Valley, we encourage our students to do short-term study abroads. We urge them to travel, to take on new experiences, to draw upon those when it comes to making the decisions that will shape their future.
Where I want students, and in particular our psychology students, to be engaged or involved in the profession, as practicing paraprofessionals or professionals. And to that end, we require our students to do at least 2 internships during the course of earning a degree in psychology at this campus.
Businesses are looking for graduates who have the agility and ability to imagine and connect the dots.
The employers see our students as employable, and because they get that internship experience, they see that they can do the job, and then they get hired, and that's what it's all about.